So, welcome to the Tier 3 podcast. This is our first episode. I am Umbreon, or Liam, with my co-host, Mystic, who is also Liam. Let's hope it doesn't get confusing. This is the first episode. We've been looking forward to it for a few days now, and our first guest, which is probably a bit big in the scene, StarSable, or Mighty Trash.
Oh, Sean's gonna love that.
Oh, he's gonna absolutely love that. So
yeah, shout to say.
So I feel like the first thing we should get into is just Jack. Fucking, it's been a bit of a wild week.
I know, like, I sort of got everyone left and everyone just came back, and it's just been a fucking shit show.
Mainly
like,
you. That was the biggest part.
I know. Like, I just felt like so fucking done, and then like a bunch of shit came out. Like, I had to fill a scrim for Valoria, and it was against like it was against Kairos, and like I had like, since I wasn't managing, I wasn't like owner, I wasn't anything. I was just like caller. I felt like there's no like weight on my shoulders, so I could just chill.
Yeah,
and I had a great.
Speaking of fucking Kairos.
Yeah.
Jesus, conch.
Yeah.
It's quite funny because both of us recently announced our retirement and then instantly come back like a day or two later.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a mad one. So obviously we'll get into that a bit more later. Obviously mentioning Ted Star, Fintera, or Nomad, whatever the fuck he wants to be called.
Nomad, yeah.
Jack,
Bomb Academies might be coming back as well.
You know, some big names have come back into the scene, which is making the next few tournaments looking very spicy indeed.
Yeah.
So I suppose the first thing we should talk about is, it's a bit of a hot one to start with, but tier list or power rankings. The way we're doing this, it's going to be S, A, B, C, unranked. Those are teams we don't have an opinion on. I think the way we should go about it is I'll get a list up of what teams there are that I at least know of, and they're represented in the EU captains chat. Big up, represent.
Yeah, if you're not in there, probably message one of us three on Discord and we'll add you in, it'll be fine. Also message Kits or Fox, because they're mods in there as well.
Yeah, so I think the first team we should start with is, the first team. The first team's on this is PDM, so let's get past that.
Unranked.
Unranked.
Unranked, you can't really rank it, there's not much to go on.
There isn't a single, there's literally not a theme. Alright,
so it's next on PWA.
Honestly, I would say that PDM is normally at least B tier. Like, we could probably guess at least be B tier. No matter.
No, I just PDM, like the one that just played in Atlantis, I would say would be like top of A tier, maybe bottom of S tier, just because of how dominant they've been in like league settings. Of like Chaos League was their last loss in a tournament setup without playoffs was in Chaos League over a year ago.
Yeah, I think that was the first map we played, which was lost. I think the only time we lost after that was when we couldn't actually play against Midnight Nebula.
Yeah, like that, a forfeit win, which doesn't really count, and before that you lost it was Frostbite. Your last loss was to Frostbite.
Yeah, so it's about the official teams we should get into that actually exist.
Yeah.
The first one I have listed is Deadlock. Where would you guys rank Deadlock?
C?
I would say C without their NS loanies, and B with them.
I'd say low A with NS loanies.
I'm gonna say unranked, but I think because Fox isn't gonna play for them anymore because he's too high, they're gonna lose a bit. Because Fox is very good. I'm not gonna lie.
I personally think they've got. I would say C. I would agree on C. They have a bit to prove. They've lost Fox. A lot to prove. They're using NS loanies,
and they also, like, the most vocal players on their team have just been, they just finished up being shitters in Atlantis on Oblivion. I think it was like 2 map wins against Valoria with a drunk caller and Legendary, who are kind of meh. So like, it's like
the next team I have here is XD. And I think we're going off the roster they are for console contenders. is the
Mid
main
A.
one we're going off.
Was that the one that can't remember.
I'm checking just now.
I mean, they're good, I guess, but like Busio always overrates them. I'm not gonna lie.
I
He
would
keeps
say
saying they're
another
the best
C tier team.
but yeah.
Right, I'm saying like mid to like lower to mid A. Like, I think there's something like they have something. Because like, I feel like if there's anyone that could be the most overrated player in the tier, it is Smurf Blossom. But so far, I've seen nothing to make me think otherwise. So, like, if I'm wrong, I'm gonna be very wrong.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, they've never, from what I know about XD, is they've never took a tournament very seriously, and they've
No.
never shown their full potential in regards to tournaments because they're looking to have a bit
Yeah.
more fun. But
Yeah.
I believe with Contra Contenders it might be different as it's their tournament. They have something to prove in that.
Mm.
So I believe they might turn up the gas and they might just show everyone the strength they have.
Yeah. Like, there are definitely bright spots on the roster, like Axe from B Sports. When he plays for him, like, he's a great player. Like, he's probably Eunice level diva, and he's adapted well to this meta. And then like Bustio is one of the better, probably one of the best main supports in the league. And Blossom, like, if you stick him on Farah, he's top 3.
Yeah. So
But it's the
going to
team around
players,
that I'm worried about.
yeah, going to players from other rosters. Weebs are us. PDM's sister
Oh.
team.
Yeah, Weebs are looking strong.
It is an interesting roster. It is basically just PWA with a slight bit of PDM. I believe they have 1 or 2 players on their roster still from PDM before they disbanded. So it is looking a bit interesting. It's 2 dominant teams kind of merging.
Yeah. Like,
I'm not sure if I want to rank them just yet. Because on paper they're at least a B, but I don't know how they're going to work together.
I want to say that they're one of the top teams, which they are either way, but I don't see them being very dominant at the moment.
yeah.
Because they're
I
very
see
new.
them falling into like a like a close top 3. But then again, I also believe XT is not too far behind that, so I don't know what my opinion is.
Yeah, okay, so you just sort of say unbanked on that one, mark that unbanked.
Yeah.
So we've got, just a recap, Deadlock, C, I think we've agreed on, A, I think as a mid tier, B tier. Who are you, or Weebs are us, unranked, Venomous is the next one on the list.
C.
C, I agree with C.
D.
D,
From
okay,
from when I played them.
that's reasonable, that's reasonable.
Yeah, they just seem to be like a fucking yawn of a team.
Yeah, I agree, they're a bit of a...
So
Yeah, definitely.
Venomous might end up being like the Southampton of tier.
Seems realistic, man, seems realistic.
Yeah.
I think the next team is Valoria Wolves. I think at least I think a low A.
Very high B, low A.
I'm rating them mid A. Like, I think they're gonna be like part of like the top 3 pack.
I either see them go in because they can be quite inconsistent. Well, at least from when I played them, they can either be going high B or to mid A, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I see them being a finalist at least in Contra Contenders. At least a finalist.
Like, I definitely see them making playoffs. Like, finalists, it just depends on how far we go in the bracket until we face someone like, if Weebs or us pop off, if my other pick for a high tier pops off, how far into the bracket we meet them. But depending on how the bracket goes, we could make finals of
Definitely.
yeah.
Seems reasonable. So say about there, about low A.
Yeah.
Chernobyl Pixies is the next one.
Lobby.
Never played them, but I'm gonna say C from what
From what?
I've seen of Ross, I'll say C.
From what I agree, I haven't played them,
C.
but from what I understand, I think about a C tier is reasonable.
I'm saying low B, but I do have a bit of bias because like quite a few players on that were from Amsterdam Aliens, and I've seen
I'm
like
not gonna get into
parts.
this.
Yeah, I know. I rate Amsterdam Aliens a lot more
The
than
tier
most
3
people, I
drama
believe.
hasn't started just yet.
Yeah, well, wait till next week when everyone's back.
The next one, legendary.
C.
I wouldn't even say C.
No, they're a fine team.
They're better than
Like,
Venomous.
yeah.
Not better than.
Yeah. I'd say every team we've listed so far.
See?
I don't
I
think they
put
could
them-
beat any team we've listed.
I think they could beat Deadlock and Venomous. Although it would have to be Deadlock without their NS loanies.
I would, personally, I'd say D. Just that's off a personal source when
Alright.
we've played against them.
I can't remember which team it was, but I remember in pre-season of Blackwatch, one of I can't remember if it was Venomous or one of the other teams, but they played GMs against us, so that might be fun to look out for.
Yeah. Okay. The next
Yeah.
team, and what we have, we'll discuss for a while, and one I think we'll be on for a little bit is Kairos.
See, I don't really
Right.
feel like they have a roster at the moment. Like,
They're missing a key piece in their roster.
yeah, because like
What?
Iroh's like
Conch.
Iroh's a collar, so like that's a big piece of a team. Like,
He was
Take
also their
a-
captain
like-
and their manager.
yeah,
He is trash, but you know.
yeah. Mechanically, but like if you've got a good brain for calls, then like your team doesn't have a strong collar, then you are going to get priority over mechanically better players. Like, how do you think I get on teams?
One thing I will say,
Yeah.
us Welsh guys, we disown him. Yeah, we'll give him to the Scottish.
Oh, no, we'll give them to the Irish, and then Thomas will probably give them to the fucking French.
Give them to the Finns. So
Oh, no.
I'd say right now,
Keep 'em
I
with
don't
Figo.
think it's fair to rank them
Yeah.
because they're missing such a key piece. Sure, the key piece was a shitter, and we'll
Yeah,
get
but
into
it
that a
was
bit later
also-
on. But
Yeah,
it was a key piece in
we'll
their
discuss
roster.
later on. Yeah. So who's next?
I'm gonna skip over that team since I don't know their full name. I just have their initials.
Who is
So
it?
WGA.
Yeah, I don't know him either.
Never heard them.
I think I know which team that is. I can't remember what it's called though.
So I think for that team we'll just be unranked since we haven't got your full name listed. We do apologise. So the next team underneath that is Ego.
Well, this is interesting because odds too high to play from, I believe.
I believe so, from what I've sort of understood. I
So
think
I'm
he
gonna
did
have
go
to
a little
say,
too high.
like, with him, I would put them high B. But since he's not there, I'm gonna have to say C.
I have to agree on C.
Because like,
I think
They have, like,
mid
a-
to low C.
yeah, they have a decent like, their DPS are fine, their supports are fine, but like, they have a plat on main tank who deserves plat.
Oof, that's a bit. Yikes.
Says the current 29-27.
Mister, what's your opinion on Ego, or do you not really have one?
I don't know the roster now. Last time I played him was in Ocean Brawl before they dropped out. So.
Yeah,
The
okay.
roster hasn't changed since then, as far as I'm aware. I
They've
think
just
all this.
lost
Oh, they've okay.
one player.
Well, Odd still like plays for him. He's just he won't be eligible for tournaments. Like scrims and stuff, he's still there.
So I guess it's just wait and see how they
Yeah.
perform in League without Odd.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's next?
Mystic, which is him briefly ran over.
I mean, I'd
Mystic,
like to
man.
say I'm pretty good myself, but we're not
Team
talking about
Mystic,
playing them.
Team Mystic, Jesus Christ. Not you, Mystic. Team Mystic,
Low
man.
A.
Low A?
Yeah. Because there's gonna be a fucking hot take, but I think they have the best DPS core in our tier.
What DPS core is that?
They have Speedy Guns, Julian, and Cynics. So
Strong.
Vindication's
Definitely strong.
starting core plus Julian, who just taken starting over Speedy as far as I'm aware. And like Cynic, like I've rated DPS for a while on how quickly they can make Pico tilt.
Fucking high-minded.
Yeah, and like Cynics was able to do it in half a map. And I've played for him a while. Like, I'm probably biased, even though I don't like the guy as a person, but Cynics would be like the one. He would be the hit scan Brad,
Fair enough.
if you will.
Fair enough. I can't rank Mystic personally. I haven't seen this level. I just can't rank them just yet. Mystic, you got any opinions on Mystic?
Well, he has a lot of opinions on Mystic, just not this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if I had to say there's one weakness on their team, it's their main support issue. Because they have like 3 main supports, 2 Lucio 1-tricks and a Mercy 1-trick. None of which are like standouts. Because they have Fa, Bunny Moon, I can't remember their other one.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Yeah, and they're fine. Like, they're not gonna like carry a team or like have a clutch call or anything, but like they're base players.
Yeah. So the next one I've got here is Blitz.
Midday Blitz.
Midday Blitz, yeah.
D tier.
D, I've got to agree with D.
Because in scrims they're a lot better than they will be in like tournament matches, because they get a lot of like the midnight players just filling for them. Because like they get King Killer a lot, who's, as far as I'm aware, not eligible. They get Axa, and occasionally they get Chester Whitby. So like,
the West should be. What a man.
Yeah.
What a man, what a guy.
Yeah, they do, like, they are decent to scrim, but the core of the actual roster it's a plat team.
I'd say the Midday Blitz actual roster has a bit to prove. Because they've been stealing midnight players.
Agreed.
Yeah.
The next one I have is the MRG Verdict?
Verdict. Verdicta or something. That's Fa Dogger's team, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. D.
I'd say D.
So, Fa's an okay player, but he's also the best on that roster.
It's not a good Sam and Fat Dog is your best player.
Yeah.
So I'd say D tier will be the sort of right area to call that off.
I'd say Heidi, like, they're better than the other teams we put in D, but like not by much.
And now, in my opinion, the most exciting roster that I have yet to mention, Wash but not Plats.
Little win. Sorry.
I've got to say, I said before going into this, I'm not going to rank anyone S tier, but they are fucking pushing it.
In my opinion, they are S tier.
If they are, like, their roster is probably going to change a lot, because I'm pretty sure like half of them aren't eligible for tier 3 at the moment. But if it somehow is able to stay the same, I would say high A.
I'd say they're knocking on S rank, personally, with Bradley, Spudjata, Widowweeb, Emma, just a few players to name.
Yeah.
They are some incredible players in their own right.
Although, to me it does seem like a team of 4/5 players who are on the up, and then 2 players are on the down. If that makes sense?
Yeah,
because like Brad, Spud, Bishy are all Carnian and what's their other tank's name? I can't remember. No, not Emma. It's not.
Is it going to irritate me now?
It's like Dog or something.
Yeah.
Whoever you are, we know who you are.
We know of you. We just don't know your name.
Yeah, very sorry. Like, they all seem to be like tier 3.5 players who are like pushing towards tier 4. Whereas Ethan and Emma seem like 3.5 players. They're on their way down to tier 3.
Well, you mentioned Bradley. I have inside of information which I'm not sure I'm allowed to leak, but Bradley was getting asked to stay on a tier 4 roster and decided to stay in tier 3. Which I find quite interesting.
Tier 3 is more fun.
It is definitely more fun. Definitely.
It is
big
more
up
fun.
tier 3 podcast. Big up the tier 3 community.
Yeah,
literally,
really.
I've been offered from like 5 different tier 4 teams to join. I haven't bothered. I don't want to.
Yeah.
So I think the teams we're expecting to do well are Wash but not Plats. If they can keep their roster at the moment and don't have to alter it too much, XD and Valoria Wolves, I think, are the highest contenders.
I'd say Mystic as well, but
Mystic,
like you guys haven't, like, just from like on paper they look good and they've been around for a while, so they probably are good. Is what I can see, like your guys' opinion having, like you guys having that opinion, whereas like I've actually seen it and it's good.
Yeah, so I think them four will be my personal playoff picks for console contenders. Yeah. If the rosters are staying the same and yada 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 yada. Those are the four I'm expecting, at least in the playoffs.
Like, Wet but not Plat, if they lose, I would say, like 2 free players, they'll probably drop down to B tier.
Because it's hard to find another quality player that isn't already on the rosters that we've listed.
Yeah. Like, the very few tier 3 players that are going around have been going around a while because they have severe issues in play. But that's for another video, I believe. So yeah.
Honestly, we can't sleep on WRU though. They're very...
Yeah, we can't sleep on WRU Wolves. And we can't sleep on some other teams.
We can't sleep on quite a few teams. Like,
I think it's the most open the division's been.
Yeah. And all it took was 2 teams to die and 1 to move up.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, that'll be a nice little segue into the next section.
Yeah.
PDM disbanding, PWA disbanding, Nordic Spectre going up.
Yeah.
It's
top 3 teams leaving.
Yeah. That's the best way to describe it. And I know Nordic Spectre's one was a while ago, but I mean, this is a new podcast. We haven't had a chance to talk about it.
Yeah.
That was a big hit on the scene, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It was such a dominant team, just going.
Yeah. Although it did make Atlantis Brawl a lot more interesting, because from like initially there's like Ego was in there as well, so it definitely looked like there was going to be 2 like sets of teams, if that makes sense, of PWA and PDM at the top, like the mid to upper tiers of Valoria and Ego, and then like on the bottom Oblivion and Legendary.
And if Nordic Spectre could enter that tournament, Nordic Spectre would have just been different level.
Like that would have meant NS versus Valoria in semi-finals, and we would have had the PDM versus PW game as a semi-final.
Jesus, imagine. Jesus Christ.
Oh my.
So let's go on to, I think the first one should be PWA disbanding. The first one we're bringing up. That is a
It was out of nowhere, honestly. Like, I didn't even know it was happening myself until it happened.
I think it caught a lot of people off guard. If those who don't know, PWA sort of branched off and formed Weebzaros, which is being captained by Mystic. Not Mystic, sorry. Was captained by Mystic, and is now captained by Kitsune and Banjo.
Yeah. Like, it's a great core, like, team. Like, if you just build on that, get a couple of like good players to add on, like, and just where they lost players, that would be a tier 3 finalist, or at least tier 3 semi-finalist, depending on who they get stopped by, because they're linked to PDM now.
I'm sure you've got opinions on Mystic.
Honestly, after playing with some of the players for a while, and I'm pretty sure Nelly's on the roster now. If he is, that team is going to be very good. Like, Richard's main tank hasn't been shown much, like Trickster's Echo Ship, so there hasn't been shown much, but it's pretty good, honestly. Nelly on the off tank, always strong. He's very good. He can flex the main tank as well if needed. Kid's DPS, it's going to be watched for a while. His DPS is still good.
Yeah, like in the Valoria PWA game, the semi-final of Atlantis, he showed up on Farah.
Yeah.
On Ilios. It was like, he boomed us. I was like, oh, it's okay, Kids is washed, it's fine. And he hits, like, it was a team kill. Aye.
Fucking hell.
I mean, it was a fun match and all, let's just be honest. Like,
yeah, definitely. The team's been around for a while as well, so it was sad to see them go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the core's still there, you just, like, it's just new wallpaper.
You need this new wallpaper, guys.
I would like to say they won't be as good without me, but that's one, selfish, and two, I don't see them being much worse. If not better, to be honest, because I haven't played well in a while.
So
I've
segueing
been
on.
lacking.
Yeah, so I guess segueing on from that is the next one, which
You're
in my
meant to say
opinion,
yeah to that.
well, but in my opinion, the biggest announcement to happen in the past few days, PDM disbanding.
I was half
True.
expecting StarSable left and came back.
Well, in my opinion, this is a big
Yeah.
announcement.
Like, PDM has been a mainstay for fucking ages. Like, if you knew anything about Tier 3 Overwatch in, like, the
past
PS4
year.
European community
Just
for
the
the
past
last year, yeah.
You know a PDM.
And I think it's, since your loss to Frostbite, you went, and excluding the midnight forfeit, I think it was something like you've went 18-0.
I believe so, yeah, and just
in
regular
league
regular
matches?
seasons, yeah.
And
Also, one thing
3 and
I'd
3 in
like to-
playoffs.
One thing I'd like to add, PDM and PDRA are the only team to ever draw in the tournament finals.
Yeah, that's a massive announcement. The only teams ever, probably in history, to draw in the finals. But then I look at that roster, and as someone who's been on that roster for basically a year, it was a painful to see it go, and to see this team
Yeah.
who went from a bit of a shitter, to be completely honest,
Yeah.
to a big household name. If you were in a tournament, you would expect
Household.
PDM,
Yeah.
and you would be scared of them.
Like, even in my short time there, like, I still felt like that's a community that's been, like, warped by and twisted due to the removal of a key element. Like, I wasn't even there for a while, and it took the wind out of my sails, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, the whole month I sat on the bench.
It was a weird roster
Yeah.
because with the whole roster they had 6 players who they wanted to stay with and they refused to move from.
Mm.
And it was been like that for months upon months upon months for that roster, and then as soon as 1 or 2 players left, the
It's all
team
crumbled.
it's crumbled down, and
Yeah.
it led to a lot of frustration. PDM's main problem, coming from someone who's inside the org, was the biggest problem they had was as soon as we lost in like a playoffs, the morale would disappear, and it was just a horrible thing to experience. But it was more of a family than a team, and obviously I wish every single player
Yeah.
the best of luck with what they're going on to, but
And from what I've heard, some of those are going to be going on to big things.
yeah, from a little bit of a list of what's going on with that roster is Bradley and Spudyata have moved on to Wash but not Plats. Fracture 21 has moved on to substitute to be for Emerald traders.
Yeah. Hasn't Knuckles done it as well, or?
Knuckles is at the moment he is as a substitute for that roster, but he has other big personal things that are going really
Alright.
well for him at the moment.
Okay.
I'm obviously heading towards a bit more of a head of tier 3 role, which has meant I've had to take a bit of a break from that roster, that
Yeah.
org. I mean, yeah, it's just some big
Yeah.
moves coming from most of the players, and obviously all the other players have got their own stuff going on.
Yeah.
The team has just been shook recently to its core. Like,
It has, yeah.
It was like right after CGL, where like multiple teams just disbanded, like in the the playoffs, like it was like mountains crumbling, sort of thing.
Climb the mountaintop and the
doing-
mountaintop crumbled.
Yeah. It's been said we're doing it over like what would be classed as a tier 3 minor league.
Also, I'd like to say something. Last month I celebrated my 1-year anniversary in the tier
Hey,
Yeah.
poggers!
because I joined Midnight around early November. I think it was like the 5th of November
Yeah.
last year.
And then our Chaos League final was like the 13th or 14th in
It
November.
was my first game with you
Yeah,
guys.
it was like
We
a
didn't
week
actually have
after.
stream for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite interestingly for me, in
And
February,
I played Bastion on Ilios Lamau.
in
Yeah,
February next year
I
is my
had that on my
third year.
Furfire for a year.
In February next year is my third year of playing competitive Overwatch,
Oh.
In
which
March
is
it'll be my second,
mad. It'll be
although
my
I
third
didn't
year.
really yeah. March will be
Cause,
my second, and then after that it's like it'll be fucking weird.
'Cause I started with Team
You guys are
Horizon.
dreamers.
Yeah.
I started with Team Horizon and Rebel. Fuck
Yeah.
both of them. I suppose then, when you mentioned Shukta's core, yeah, I guess we have to segue on to Ted, Fintera, Jack,
Yeah.
leaving and then
Couldn't get rid of me.
returning.
Couldn't get rid of me.
Jesus.
Yeah. But I do think this is gonna be good for the tier because I'd say across all teams, main support is mechanically the weak. Well, just in general, is the weakest role. Like look at who are the better main supports. You've got me, Kits, and Boostio.
Kids has left for DPS now. So.
Exactly.
left DPS,
Kits is left
Oh,
for
no.
DPS.
Richard was in
Boostio's-
the top 5, and he's gone to tank. So
Yeah, like they either switch roles, they're on a kind of meh team, or they're known for just being bad mechanically.
Or
Yeah.
they've gone up like Mark, who in my opinion
Yeah.
was the head and shoulders best main support in tier 3.
Yeah, I've included him like ranked for a while because he's been making moves for tier 4 for like a month now. I swear.
Yeah,
So
he's
I've
been
just like
doing really
in
well
my
with a lot of
head.
stuff.
Yeah, in my head I've just like excluded him.
So I think the thing we should talk about first is Jack, you leaving and then immediately
Yeah.
coming back into the fucking scene.
Yeah, I pulled a switcheroo on you guys.
It was a big no you.
he knew
know.
we were making the diss track, so he wanted us to leak it.
No, I put in the old tier 3 chat, but I don't think anyone reacted to it, and it just like saying like, "Hey, Sean, Mystic, whatever you guys are planning, keep going. Like it'll be fun."
We did briefly, mate.
I did
briefly
expect-
look over it.
Yeah, I didn't expect to get doxxed, but it was fun.
So yeah, those who
Yeah.
don't know, check my Twitter. You'll see a lovely little image of Jack on a
Yeah.
diss track cover,
Yeah,
which may
I
be
will
still in
keep-
the works. We're not sure about it just yet, but we may be recording that.
no, go for it. It'll be a laugh. I already cry myself to sleep. Maybe do it for a reason.
So I think the next one we should talk about is Fintera or Nomad coming
Nomad.
back.
I think that'll be like decent because like I didn't rate him in the highest like as a player, but like he did the switch from DPS to support and he was all right. Like some team like XD will pick him up as a decent flex support.
I think it's reasonable. I think it's reasonable for like someone like a C, B tier, maybe an A tier to pick him up, even
Yeah.
as a sub, because he will provide some vital
Yeah,
substitute, like and rotate heavy rotation, in my opinion.
yeah.
Support play.
And but I also see him working very well packaged with our other returning player.
Yeah, maybe we should bring up Ted Star
Yeah.
V2,
Yeah,
the man, the myth, the fucking legend, PDM's kryptonite.
Pingu's curse.
Pingu's curse, man. Ted Star is the
Yeah.
Pingu's curse.
Yeah.
Always has been, always will be.
Like, I would say him and Finn going to Weapon Up Plat would be an amazing move.
That would
They
be
would-
that
they
would just
won't
make
do
that
it.
roster
I don't-
impossible to beat.
I know. Like,
I don't see that happening, but
Because I
know.
think
I don't
Ted
see it
is
happening
just
either.
he's a good
'Cause-
captain, he's a good coach, he's a solid
Yeah.
manager, he's a amazing support.
Yeah, like mechanically he's not the best, and I know that when this goes out, there's going to be the fucking
Ted
copy
mechanics
paste to
aren't so
spam now.
great.
Oh, I know. Yeah, like, but like his mechanics are not that amazing. But like his calling and like what he provides and like structure is like. I learned a lot from like the one trial I did for B Sports, just like from what they expected of me, and that's helped me a lot with Valoria. So like, he's helped me a lot in one scrim, and
Definitely.
he is a great like leadership figure for a team, and I think him connected with someone that he knows and trusts in the support line could be the best support line in our tier. And maybe not in terms of mechanics, but in terms of like raw, we make sure our team stays alive and gets wins.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
If them two haven't found teams already, when this goes out, please give them a fucking message. If you're looking for support, shoot them a message. You may be surprised.
Right.
I mean,
Like,
and now,
Like, people know I talk a lot of shit, but so when I rate someone highly, that isn't on Valoria, it's like weird.
yeah. Speaking of talking shit, the current drama in T3 is what I've got written down here. What's been going on in Tier 3 right now? I mean, obviously, there's the conch situation, which I believe we need to mention properly.
I mean, that's just resolving a problem that's been ongoing for a while, isn't it?
He's just a retard, isn't he, really?
Fucking hell. I'm gonna beep that.
He's been a problem in the community for a while.
If he says anything to kids again, I'm gonna skin him. But,
For those who don't know, the situation, Conch is someone who a lot of the Tier 3 scene have been trying to remove them from the community for a bit of a while.
Yeah.
Don't sign him, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
He has a bad rep in the scene. And we've been
if
unable...
you don't trust us, trust Kits. Like, Kits is a very trustable person, and he's
Kits is small wholesome being, please trust.
Trust the small wholesome being, because it is, if he says something's up, something's up. He's banned from a lot of leagues, he's blacklisted from a lot of teams, just...
Yeah.
I have
hate him.
Yeah, I believe so. But yeah...
I'd probably say I have probably the most positive opinion of him in our community, because, like, I was on a team with him right before everything went to shit for him. And so I still remember that, and that he was a dick, but, like, you didn't think, like, oh, he would do something, like, bad. You just think, oh, he's a bit toxic, he's a bit shit, he'll do something, like, stupid, but not, like, malicious. And then he did what he did, so I can't really stand by that argument anymore.
I think it's impossible to defend him after what he did.
Yeah.
It's just
he's done wrong. What would be best for him now is to just learn from this, move on to something else where you can have a positive reputation. Like,
I mean, he's been blacklisted from a lot of Rainbow Six Siege leagues, which was his second game, so I'm interested to see what he does.
I don't know, fuck it. Play Brawlhalla, it's free.
Become a Smash Bros player, bro.
I'll follow him everywhere, and I will make sure that he doesn't get on the team, if I have to. That's how much I dislike this guy.
Oh my god.
Mostly because he didn't really say much to me, but because I told him straight. But he said a lot to Kits that I wasn't happy about at all.
Yeah.
And Jack will know if anyone says anything about my friends.
Yeah.
I did not turn into a nice person.
Yeah, I've been on the end of that. It's fucking scary.
Yeah, I mean, well, thankfully, me and V-Wolves have buried the drama quite recently. We've buried that fucking hatchet. Obviously, I want to make a little thing about V-Wolves. I do apologise. I kind of took it a little bit too far in my joking behaviour. If you guys are watching this, I do apologise.
As far as I'm aware, everyone's over it, but, like, I've been, like, on a break, so I haven't really been paying attention much. But, like, I'm pretty sure everyone's over it. And I have, like, a lot of people to apologize to, and also a few people I'm definitely not apologizing to.
I pretty much apologize to say as well, if I've been, well, not really toxic, but I've been memeing on you, it's most likely I'm doing it as a meme and not actually hating you. For example, NS, because I'm good friends with those guys, but when we used to verse each other, I would always meme on them and call them trash and stuff like that. I'm blowing balls. I don't dislike anyone from there.
You don't know anyone from there.
Yeah, true. I just meme on them because it's Jack's team and stuff.
Yeah.
So I believe, since you briefly mentioned All Expect, I believe we're going to the big discussion, and one me and the captain's chat have talked about a little bit. Hall of Fame's teams. What teams would you enter as the Hall of Fame in regards to Tier 3? It can be old teams, it can be current teams, it can be maybe even making a prediction that a team might make into the Hall of Fame, or might, you know, what teams would you enter in it right now?
B Sports is definitely in there.
B Sports has to be in there.
PDM, Midnight.
PDM's not even a fucking debate. PDM's not even a fucking debate. I'm sorry.
Midnight, I would say, deserves to be in because look at, like, if you look at the final roster that team had, and then what's been gone on to be, like, we had Mystic and Banjo, like, a team owner in the DPS line. We had Pico, never mind him, and then we had Eunice and Umbreon, a team owner and a tier 4 team captain.
We have Sammy, who's an amazing PC boy. Like,
yeah, and then in our support line at the end, we had me, a team owner, well, ex-team owner / community rep, May, team owner / manager. Like, there's a lot of big names on that team, essentially.
I'm just gonna shout everyone out, pretty much. Roan, amazing.
Ranu, oh my god.
Literally
I
an
miss
insane
him.
caller. He is so good at calling.
I learned
Can
so
we
much
stop
from him.
coming over midnight? Can we stop orgasming over midnight and move on?
And then Atemka, literally the nicest and most...
Yeah.
Probably the nicest guy you'll ever meet.
I did love that roster though.
Yeah, I'm still bitter he benched me, but like he was a better player. Like, it's fine.
So Nordic Spectre, PDM, B Sports,
Midnight.
I'd like to nominate PWA just because of all the personalities they had on there and all the drama they got out of it, because that was quite fun.
If PWA were around for a little bit longer, they would be Hall of Fame contenders. They'll be in that. But I think due to the amount of time they were in and the tournaments they entered, I think it's hard to put them up there with like the teams like B Sports, Nordic, PDM.
Can we nominate Frostbite for being the last team to beat PDM in
I actually said let's nominate Frostbite because they were the last team to fully beat them.
Finland roster in the International Overwatch Cup or whatever it was called. That Finland roster, insane, all plats, pretty much.
Oh my
Frostbite
god,
roster.
I can't believe that. That was fucking nuts.
I won't lie that Wales got rolled in it because we absolutely did. We didn't have the best roster. It was quite fun though. But
big up Team UK, up to Team England.
Yeah, I'm sad about Team Scotland. Like, I thought we'd do better.
Yeah, and then
I was so mad after we got took out of Finland thing, because I was like, out of Finland's one, because I was like, we can definitely win one for once. And then we got taken out of Finland's group, and I was mad.
Yeah.
Well, Eunice.
I mean, you beat Kuwait, didn't you?
Eunice is just gave me a little point we could briefly talk over. Make an all-star team from last year's CGL and teams right now.
Alright.
I can't even.
I'd say two different teams though.
Yeah,
Right,
I believe we do two different teams. One from CGL and then one for the current teams. Like your dream team. I think we need to work together on building like two dream teams from past CGL, or let's not say CGL, but past tournaments, and then one from the now.
I'd say from V Sport, like the CGL, like assuming like every team was given enough time to like prepare as B Sports was.
Yeah.
I would just take like Vindication, but put Ted in over me.
I think if you just make the roster at their peak,
roster.
like every single player
just
at
make
their
that
peak.
team play. Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
I think every player's at their peak and at the best they could be.
I'm slightly changing my roster now.
Vindication Academy with me out, Ted in, playing Sombra Goats in Goats meta.
Personally, I would have to go Knuckles on main tank, just because the kid proved himself.
Actually, I wouldn't. I would get, I'd get rid of Corv and I'd put Lug in.
Off tank.
Peak Lug.
Off tank, I would put peak Eunice.
Oh, right now.
Well, right now Eunice, just
Yeah.
He was incredible. DPS, I have to go with Mad Lad Brad. Big up my man.
Right.
I have to put him in as the DPS, as a projectile DPS. Hit scan.
I'd say Sanix. Are you thinking CGL?
I think it's the past.
Am I allowed to include myself in this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
sure.
I think then for main support.
Sanix was like the only big name on Hitscan.
Yeah, I agree with that.
During CGL time.
Yeah, and then off main support, I have to go with Fracture. At his peak, he's a whole new breed.
Yeah, he was definitely the best mechanically, but so far I don't see any leadership figures in.
No, I think off support I have to go with Ted.
Ted off support?
Ted off support. I think he. Or maybe.
No.
Maybe no.
CGL time, he would have been playing fucking Zen, dude. Have you seen his aim?
Well, I think I still include him as the off support pick, just because A, it's a leadership, it's a leader, it's someone who can push the team.
Just throw him on Moira, he'll be fine.
Yeah, and I mean, and with if we're going off like the way main support and off support works, he would be on like Moira and that kind of stuff, and then Mark would be on Lucio, that kind of thing.
I mean, if you run a Mercy comp, that'd be...
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, you could run a farm Mercy of Brad and Ted, that'd be insane.
Yeah, definitely.
I got my roster.
Mr. What's yours?
My roster's pretty good. So it's pretty much old midnight, but one or two people added. So it would be Roan on main tank because it's just his leadership. He's a very good main tank in general, but his leadership just pushed us like when he used to be on this team. It pushed us so far, and then Eunice on off tank obviously. Cause...
Oh, those two when they were paired were insane. Oh my fucking god.
And then full support, I would have Sammy because Sammy was nutty. Oh my! And then
on the off support or main? Because I put him off support for
off support. And I put Fracture on main support.
Yeah.
And then for DPS, I actually have 3.
Oh god.
Oh, it's good to have a sub.
Yeah. So Brad, me, and Kits. Because Banjo didn't get to show himself enough in CGL, I won't lie.
Yeah,
after CGL, he was thing. Because I'd like to nominate myself because my Widow used to be almost unstoppable at most times. Like, it would just go insane. But then I've just become trash out. I won't lie.
Well, I mean, hey, it was in CGL it was Goats, so you would have been on Brig. It's fine.
Oh, my Brig was insane. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My only person that can beat me on the Brig is the Mr. Nosebleed.
So let's do one for now. What would your roster be now? It has to be tier 3. It can't be someone going to tier 4. It has to be done tier 3.
Main support would be difficult because like we can't count kits, so it's between me and Boostio. And like I don't like that because like we don't know if Ted's like how washed Ted's is.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
I have an idea, but I'm not sure.
Alright, so
I have an answer.
Yeah, you guys can go first then. Mystic, you can go first.
I'll go for mine. So Brad again. Brad's just good. I won't lie, he's just very good. And then I'd have Banjo as the other DPS. Because he can play both hit scan and
Banjo. Who plays Farah in that?
Bradley.
True.
Definitely Bradley.
Yeah.
Definitely Bradley.
Banjo's hit scan is very nice as well. And
tanks?
The main tank, I'm not 100% sure, but I'll put you... Oh yeah, I can't put Eunice as off tank. I forgot about that.
I can't wait. I don't really have a main tank.
I put Nelly. Nelly is off tank. He's
are you dissing Joe?
Do you value? I've got to say, do you value Nelly's off tank over Joe and Spudjasa?
Yeah.
I haven't played much with the other two, so I would say yeah.
Yeah.
Because Nelly hasn't Nelly hasn't played enough to show himself, but from what I've played with him, he's good with calls, and his off tank is pretty fog.
Alright. Main tank?
Main tank? I'm not 100% sure.
I don't have a main tank myself.
Yeah,
I would
let's just put Callum in just for the memes. Callum does his something at least.
Yeah. And supports?
I prefer you over Boost you, I won't lie.
Oh god.
And off support.
Who am I getting duoed with? Oh fuck.
Blitz. Blitz is very... Blitz...
Yeah.
He's be just on the Moira, but stuff other than Moira is also very good.
Yeah, I agree with that. I can support that.
I was just too good at the moment for him not to play it.
Alright, Jack, you got one?
Just Valoria's starting roster. I really like us.
Oh
like
my
as
God.
a team. Like Thomas isn't like in terms of like mechanics, like Thomas isn't as good as Brad on like mechanically.
Or Banjo.
Or Banjo. Like he'd put his hands up to that. Ton, he's a good hit scan, but he's not like gonna take over anyone. Like and just like roll anybody. But that's just not the role he plays. Yeti is just a solid main tank, like on everything. Joe is insane. Like he's our backup DPS. Like we had Jonas and then he left, and now we just have Joe as our backup, and we put Fozzie in when we have to. And then like me, like we need a caller, and then Ems/Mer, whoever's available, is like they're both very strong on the Moira, and they also both have different strengths in terms of what else they can play apart from the Moira. Like Mer's like your very bread and butter off support in that he's Moira, Ana, Zen, whereas Ems is more of like the e-girl, like hero pool of the Mercy and Diva.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Like,
my roster.
I do say that with a hint of bias of like, I just like how we all come together as a unit.
Yeah. Well, my roster, this DPS, it has to be projectile, has to be Bradley.
Yeah.
It just has to be. I don't. As
Yeah,
much
like-
as I rate every other DP, you can't. Bradley's on a new level.
Brad mechanically is on another level to everyone else. Like, I can put my hands up and say like, that's how it be.
Do
Your
get
hit
that.
scan?
My hit scan, I think that's difficult. I think I might have to start a Mystic and put Banjo on hit scan. But I believe he can
I mean,
make
my
moves.
second choice would have been Cynics.
I just haven't paid that
'Cause
much of Fenix, personally.
Like, Cynics, he's not as good as he used to be, but like he's still like good. Like he's still pico tilting.
I was gonna disagree with you if you put me on the team because I am washed right now. Like my mechanics, even in the finals, I was playing like trash.
You will be on the roster as a substitute player, I think is the first way to describe it, is what I was going to say.
Fair.
My
Who's
tank
your
line,
tanks?
I'm not sure
I
about
need
main tank.
coaching again.
I don't have a main tank in mind.
Yeah.
I think the
Like-
main tank position is kind of still open right now for someone to dominate.
Now the Carnian's gone, I don't.
Now that Knuckles and Coin have gone, I think
Yeah,
it does.
Knuckles and
Yeah.
Coin.
I feel like that leaves it open for Yeti because
It does leave open for Yeti, I believe. Yeah.
like he's not like a god on anything, but like he plays all the main tanks very well. Like this man can even pull out Lucio.
I
like,
think
when
to
we
just
need it.
have one, I would have Yeti.
Yeah.
And then to pair that with, as much as I love my boy Spuds, I've got to pull in Samajo.
Yes.
I have to pull him in. I have to pull him in.
Valoria tank line dudes.
I have to put in the Valoria tank line.
Yeah.
It's just so good. As for support, sorry Jack, I've got to put Boosty on main support.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
I've played them before. I know how good he can be.
Yeah.
And then for off support, I'm unsure on the
Mer.
off support role.
Mer.
I've got to go with
Mer.
Blitz.
Oh fuck's sake.
I've got to go with Blitz. Blitz is just... He's really good. I can't help but say how good he is.
All right.
Obviously,
so,
there's a few
calls either.
Yeah.
He tells everyone he loves them a lot, so it very brings up the
Yeah.
spirit.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
So if we
then.
take on average of what the rosters are, it's Brad, Banjo, Yeti, Joe, me, Blitz.
That seems to be
That's-
like the general
That's
consensus of
that's
the rosters.
that's
yeah.
good. That's
That is a
really
I reckon
good.
that's tier 3 winning though. If they had
Yeah.
time to practice together, had time to scrim, synergize, yeah, it seems unbeatable.
Brad, if you're watching, message me. Same with you, Blitz. And Banjo, you know what to do.
Benching VW players for the gods amongst tier 3.
Nah, I would never. I
So-
love my players too much.
Yeah, I think we that might be the first episode, unless anyone's got any other
nice.
topics.
I
wanna
don't
shout
have anything
myself
I
out.
want to. Oh God's sake.
the only thing I want to say, pick me up, please. I'm lonely.
Yeah, give
you go,
everyone give Mystic some representation. Give representation. Get this man a team.
Tier 4 finalists right here, boys. I played Brig, but it doesn't matter. I'm still Tier 4 finalist.
Yeah.
If you need a Brig player, oof, you know who to contact.
I just want to say thank you very much to StarSable for coming on for the first episode. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, if you want to find me, you can find me at curiously.me/StarSable/
Oh, for
post.
fuck's sake!
Why did I know you were going to shout that out?
I've got to. It's in the
It's a
contract,
part
man.
of your brand.
It's in the contract.
So this is
You
a
need
tier
to
3
make Jack a
podcast.
t-shirt just for that.
Signing out. Thank you very much for
Alright.
watching.